Jason Buttrill reached out to his Kurdish contacts, and he has this update for us. Jason.
So, what Congressman Gohmert's talking about is the Western supply lines that are running into Mosul. Now, the majority of them, no, all of them, have now been completely closed off. So the only supply lines that are going into Mosul, which is the second largest city in Iraq, and pretty much besides Ramadi down in the south, well, it's the only ISIS presence in the north of Iraq. So the only way they're able to supply that and keep them in control is one tiny little supply line coming up from the south. Now that's almost going to be closed off because what we just heard is, right after the Paris attacks, and this is just coming, I don't know if anybody else is reporting on this now, but now coalition aircraft are now bombing those supply trucks that you saw on 6 Days in Iraq, but these were coming from Mosul. Now we are actively bombing those trucks coming from the south. So that only means pretty much one thing. They're choking them off, and they're going to start moving towards Mosul very soon.
Wow. Wow.
It's in the works. So another thing to keep an eye on, though, is this is a huge political mess. So think about that.
100 times more in the Sinjar.
Oh, 100 times more. Because Mosul is the second largest city in Iraq. Now think about what the second largest city in the United States is.
Right.
What if we just lost that all of a sudden? Think about what that would do to our economy. Now think about what that's going to do to the Iraqi economy if the Kurds move in and say, screw it, we're going to go take it regardless of if you support us or not. If the Kurds move in there, they're not moving out. They're staying there. And Iraq just lost their second largest city. So there's either going to be a standoff at the OK Corral where Kurdish forces and Baghdad forces meet in the middle, or the Kurds say, we're not waiting for you anymore, we're going and liberating this area that traditionally is ours anyway. It's going to be a political mess.
How do you see this panning out?
Bloody.
Wow.
I think that we know from the people that we've spoken to is that Baghdad has basically been pleading with the coalition, do not let the Kurds advance, do not let the Kurds advance. They don't want to lose any more territory.
Yeah.
So the Kurds are only going to put up with this for so long.
So in choosing between the Kurds and ISIS, the Iraqi government would choose ISIS?
Yes.
It's less hassle for them to just keep them in a one little pen rather than have to deal with the
That's why we said we're playing,
back and forth.
The coalition airstrikes is playing for stalemate. They're stalemating as long as they can appease the Iraqi government. That's what they're doing, and that's where we see ourselves right now. The reason the Paris attacks happened, I'm just going to say it, I'm going to be as bold as saying that, is because we advocated the stalemate. We let it happen. This would not have happened before.
And we are not going to let that story drop. We are currently investigating and talking to our contacts there because someone needs to be held accountable. I don't know if it's our country. I don't know which country it is, but somebody needs to be, or if it's just the Iraqi central government. Someone needs to be held accountable for letting that fester for all of that time. When look at how fast they took it out. Look how fast they took it out in a day and a half. That could have been over like that, and France potentially wouldn't even have happened.
Wow.
Whoa.
What, so, oh my gosh. And why are we then helping the Iraqi government?
Good question. Because of the status quo. It's because we've been propping them up for who knows how long. I mean, if all of a sudden you just back out of that, you're saying, okay, everything we did from the Iraqi invasion on was just all for nothing.